The Minecraft PvP community has always been one of the most competitive corners of gaming. Players spend thousands of hours mastering mechanics, improving reaction speed, and learning strategies just to climb the ranks and prove they belong among the best. In this environment, reputation means everything. Tier lists, rankings, and community opinions can determine who becomes respected and who fades into the background. Over the past few years, many well-known PvP creators have helped shape this scene. Creators like It's Real Me and Dr. Donut built audiences by showcasing high-level gameplay and sharing their views about who the strongest players were in the community. Among all of these names, one player started rising very quickly. That name was Marloww. At first, Marloww looked like just another skilled PvP player, but as time passed, people began noticing something unusual. The gameplay looked extremely polished. The reactions were sharp. The positioning and strategy looked almost perfect in many fights. Slowly, Marloww began appearing higher and higher on PvP tier lists and discussions about the best players in the community. Players began talking. Some believed Marloww was simply a hidden prodigy, someone who had spent years practicing privately before entering the public PvP scene. Others believed the rapid rise was suspicious. Still, the mystery surrounding the identity only made the name grow faster. Very little was known about who Marloww actually was. There was no clear personal background, no real-life information, and no confirmed identity behind the account. For many viewers, the mystery added to the appeal. Clips of gameplay started circulating across Discord servers. PvP communities began sharing fights and highlights. More players started recognizing the name, and the reputation continued to grow. But behind the scenes, small questions were beginning to appear. Some players wondered how someone could suddenly appear at such a high skill level without much history in the public scene. Others started digging through older conversations and archived messages, trying to figure out where this mysterious player had come from. At first, these discussions stayed small, just a few conversations in private servers or comment sections, but eventually someone decided to look deeper, and that decision would trigger one of the biggest controversies the Minecraft PvP community had seen in years, because the story of Marloww was about to become much more complicated than anyone expected. The situation truly exploded when Aximity released a video discussing the mystery surrounding Marloww.
This is Marloww's true identity. Meet DangerMario. He was known in the vanilla Crystal PvP community in 2019 and 2020 for being skilled, although while cheating, being a very, very good manipulator, as well as he would typically go on alternate accounts and incite people in order to grief their bases. This was mainly what he was known for at the time. He eventually founded PvP Club.
Oh no! Mario's kinda cracked!
The current main PvP server for MC tiers, until he eventually disappeared and passed ownership to Jaya.
In that video, Aximity presented screenshots, archived conversations, and pieces of older information that he believed were important to understanding what might be happening behind the scenes. According to his claims, the identity behind Marloww might not have been as mysterious as people believed. Instead, he suggested there could be a connection between Marloww and DangerMario. For many viewers, this idea was shocking. The possibility that two identities in the PvP community might be connected created a huge wave of speculation almost instantly. The moment the video was released, the reaction across the community was immediate. YouTube comments filled with arguments, Discord servers became flooded with debates, players started sharing screenshots, old chats, and archived discussions as they tried to piece together a timeline of events. Some people believed the evidence raised serious questions that deserved attention. Others argued that screenshots alone could not tell the full story and that more proof would be needed before drawing conclusions. But regardless of which side people took, one thing became clear. The mystery surrounding Marloww was now public. And as more people began analyzing the situation, the discussion started expanding far beyond a single identity. One of the biggest topics that emerged involved the influence of PvP tier lists. In competitive communities, tier lists can shape how players are viewed. When respected creators rank players highly, those rankings often influence how thousands of viewers perceive skill levels. Because of this, some community members began questioning whether certain rankings could have been influenced by private conversations happening behind the scenes. Names like It's Real Me and Dr. Donut appeared in discussions not necessarily as people involved in wrongdoing, but as creators whose opinions carried major weight inside the PvP scene. If viewers trusted their rankings and opinions, then those rankings could significantly affect the reputation of players across the entire community. This idea led to even more speculation. Some people started claiming that Marlow's rise might not have been completely organic. Others believed the situation was simply a misunderstanding that had grown larger due to internet drama. Meanwhile, more screenshots and conversations continued appearing online. Players examined timestamps, usernames, and older interactions in an attempt to understand what had really happened. Every new piece of information created another wave of debate, and just when the situation already seemed intense, reports began circulating that Aximity had been swatted. Swatting is when someone falsely reports a serious emergency to police, causing officers to be sent to a person's home. It is extremely dangerous and has affected several online creators in the past. When news of this incident spread, the tone of the entire controversy changed. What had started as a community investigation into online identities suddenly became something much more serious. Many people began calling for the drama to calm down. Others warned that online speculation could quickly spiral out of control. Even so, discussions about Marlow's identity continued across the internet. Some viewers believed the evidence strongly suggested that the persona had been carefully managed behind the scenes. Others believed the entire situation had been exaggerated by rumors and incomplete information. The truth at that moment remained uncertain, but one thing was undeniable. The Minecraft PvP community had been shaken. What started as curiosity about a rising player had turned into one of the most talked about controversies the competitive scene had experienced. As time passed, the intensity of the drama slowly began to settle, but the impact on the community remained. The debates, screenshots, and theories had already spread across thousands of players and viewers. For some people, the situation became a reminder of how powerful online narratives can be. In competitive gaming communities, reputation spreads quickly. A single video or claim can influence how thousands of people view a player, and once a story begins circulating online, it can grow far beyond the original claims. The discussion surrounding Marloww, DangerMario, and the video from Aximity revealed something important about the Minecraft PvP world. Behind the gameplay, rankings, and tournaments, there is also a complex network of communities, creators, and opinions shaping how the competitive scene works. Creators like It's Real Me and Dr. Donut continue to influence conversations about skill and rankings just as many other PvP creators do. But after this controversy, many players became more cautious, more careful about what they believe online, more aware that screenshots and rumors do not always show the full picture, and more aware that the truth behind internet stories is rarely simple. In the end, the mystery surrounding Marloww may never be fully understood by everyone in the community. Different people will continue believing different versions of the story, but the controversy itself has already left its mark. It changed conversations, it changed perceptions, and it reminded the Minecraft PvP community that sometimes the biggest battles are not fought inside the game. Sometimes they happen behind the screen.